All right, Peter Badel, mate, couldn't ask for much more from Liam Paro tonight.
It was the pummeling from the prodigy. It was outstanding. I thought he showed again tonight why he's not just domestic class, he is genuinely world class, a bona fide former world champion who can be world champion again, Jay. And I thought what it showed to me was the benefits of having been in world title fights. He's had 24 rounds at world title level, and I think that experience garnered over those two fights against Hitchens and Subriel Matthias just showed tonight, it's just elevated him. And I know he had that disappointing loss to Hitchens, but he will rise again, Liam Paro. I think there's another world title belt still in him.
What do you make of how Liam sort of embraced the media this week and the stage, all that sort of thing?
I think he showed he can be a pay-per-view star here in Australia. I mean, I know we've got that with Tim Tszyu, but it's nice to see Liam Paro now in the No Limit stable. I know he had, from what I'm told, a one-fight deal. Hopefully it's now in the fullness of time more than that because he deserves that. But I think Liam Paro showed that he deserves to be a pay-per-view star, and he can be. He's got the charisma, he's got the likability, he's got the boxing ability, more importantly. So as he's almost a total package, really. And I think he can be up there with Tim Tszyu as not only a pay-per-view star, but a bankable commodity for Australian boxing if he parlays this performance into a world title fight again, which I hope he gets. And if he gets that shot, I think he can take it again.
Guys like, Hitchens rematch, Lopez, Garcia. There's also a domestic matchup with George Kambosos there. Where does Liam go next? What do you think he does?
140 so stacked, isn't it, Jay? There's so many good fighters. I mean, my concern is, I know he's talked about a Hitchens rematch eventually. I mean, ideally it'd be a unification bout with more than one belt on the line. But Hitchens was, what I saw against Kambosos, he's almost one of the best fighters in the world at the moment. So for me, that's a bit of a danger fight. I don't think Liam, I wouldn't advise him to go into a fight like that just yet. But then you look at who else does he fight? I mean, you've got Teofimo, who's a superstar, probably the king of the division. And then they've talked about Ryan Garcia, maybe at welterweight. I mean, Ryan's a big boy, he can punch, but I reckon Liam's probably got the boxing IQ to beat him. So it's a stack of him. You've got Barboza, you've got all those sorts of guys, Jack Catterall, but there's no belts, no cachet there. So, yeah, look, it's an interesting move next, but it shows that he's in the top 5 or 6 fighters in his division. And I would love to see him get another world title shot because I think he'll be a better fighter for it when he gets his chance again.
Now, Liam Wilson, what did you make of that fight? A bit of controversy at the end there. Thoughts on that?
I was a bit perplexed, Jay, about the boos. I don't know where it was coming from. I don't know if the boos were directed towards the locals thinking Liam had lost the fight and that Gimenez got dudded. If that's the case, I think that's ridiculous because to me, Liam Wilson won that fight clearly. I scored at 97-93. Gimenez impressed me, no doubt about that. I thought he was very good. He was slick. His entries were great. He tagged Liam a few times. He had some nervous moments, Liam, that he had to get out of. So I thought Gimenez was a very good fighter, world quality in my eyes. He's ranked with the WBO, I think. So, but overall, I just sort of, in terms of quality, I thought it was a boring fight, let's be honest. I mean, I was just waiting for that powder keg moment where Liam Wilson would go crack with the left hook from hell. But the fight was boring, and that's not a criticism of Liam Wilson because I think he likes to engage. I think the problem is the opponents he's had. He's had 4 Argentinians now, and this was shades of Alanis, which put me to sleep, that fight. And he was only marginally better than Alanis, Gimenez, in terms of his willingness to engage. He was moving around a lot. It was almost Madrimov-like in the way he was tagging and moving. So that's not a criticism of Liam because he could only do with the opponent that he got. But I'd still like to see a more emphatic performance from Liam in terms of his finishing ability. Probably some of his timing was a bit out, I thought, at times. But overall, he did well, and let's hope he gets third time lucky in another world title shot.
Now, we saw Tim Tszyu on the broadcast tonight. For those who missed it, what did he have to say, and what was that dynamic there like with Michael Zarafer and Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, I was a bit I didn't know what was going to happen when Mick next to me asked the question of Tim, but Tim looked diplomatically straight batted it, handled it pretty well. I think down deep, Tim was probably thinking, why the hell's Michael Zarafer asking me a question? But look, Mick was diplomatic too. I mean, he said we're flying the flag for Australia. We'd like to see him win and all that sort of thing. So look, maybe that's just a bit of hot air. I don't know. I think down deep, Mick would love to have a crack at Tim Tszyu one day. We probably never will see that fight. I think Tim probably feels he's too many levels above Zarafer these days, right or wrong. But look, I saw a really calm Tim Tszyu. I think he's ready for this moment, and he has to be, because Fundora got the spoils in their first fight. And Tim's going to have to work out this rare and complex puzzle. I mean, 6'5.5", southpaw, long levers. He's almost alien to anyone that Tim will ever fight ever in his career. It's a one-off event. So, but I still think Tim will take confidence from those first 2 rounds in their fight in Vegas last year to think that cut free, I can win this fight, and I think he will.
Would you say that this is the most important fight of Tim Tszyu's career? Do or die for Tim Tszyu?
Oh, absolutely. For me, it's death or glory. I mean, if Tim loses again, I know at age 30 he's not washed up in terms of the birth certificate, but I would have to question, if he loses again at that world title level, has he really got the goods to get it done again? I mean, he lost to Aliyev. I believe he'll beat Fundora, but if he was to lose to Fundora, I don't see how globally he would have the credibility to then claw his way back to another world title shot. I just think the division will pass him by. So he has to get this win. He has to get the tactics right against Fundora. I believe he's got the boxing IQ to do it. I think he'll never make the same mistakes that he made against Aliyev. And Tim's a smart guy who learns quickly, and I think that IQ will get the job done in this rematch.
Last one, Nikita Tszyu. A lot of sort of rumours, innuendo, speculation about his hand. What are you hearing on Nikita?
Well, I got some mail, Jay, like probably a couple of us have, that he'd hurt his hand again, that he might need surgery again, that he might not fight at all this year. If so, maybe late December, around then. I've since spoken to No Limit. They assure me that I think he's got a young baby on the way, due any week or any day, and that after that delivery, hopefully safely, then he'll get back into the ring and he'll fight August. I've heard August 20 is a possible date that he might fight in Sydney. So I think from what I understand, there's no major concerns with his hand, but he's definitely, the recovery's been slower than what he was hoping for. I think we're looking to see Nikita in the ring around April or May. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm told that, you know, if he doesn't need surgery again, hopefully he doesn't, that the hand will come good eventually. He's just apparently just hits so hard, he keeps hurting it. So he's a powerful man, Nikita, but hopefully we see him back soon.
I'll see you in Vegas.
Can't wait. You're going business class. I'm going economy. 96A near the toilets, okay. Where I belong.
I'll see you there, mate. Thanks so much.
Anytime, mate. No problem.